can now see text extraction in action. I'll take a photo of the book cover. The section I'll be extracting is iOS test-driven development by tutorial. And then I'll click on Keep Scan. Save. And as you can see, the text has been extracted from the book iOS Test-Driven Development by Tutorials. And we can also copy the text on the clipboard by clicking on Copy the Clipboard button. In your SwiftUI project, create a new struct called Scan Document View. Select Swift File, click on Next, and then enter the name Scan Document View. And then we need to import SwiftUI, import VisionKit, import Vision. Next thing we need to do is to create our struct, which is called Scan Document View. And this struct will implement UI view controller representable. And the purpose of implementing UI view controller representable, it allows UIKit view controllers to be used within SwiftUI. Next thing we need to do is add our environment. And the reason why we need to add our environment is to enable our current view to be dismissed, as in hidden, when the user no longer needs it. So that should be presentation mode. Presentation mode. The next thing we need to do is to add a binding variable at binding bar recognized text, which is string. And that is the text that will be extracted from the content view and then passed into the scan document view. And we need to add another function called make coordinator. Coordinator recognize text, $ recognize text, parent self. The next function is called func make UI view controller. That returns a VN document camera view controller. So it enables the camera view to be displayed on the screen. Let document view controller equals new VN document camera view controller. Document view controller dot delegate equals context dot coordinator. Return document view controller. And then we also need to add another method that's called update UI view controller. But this method does nothing, doesn't do anything. But it needs to be included since we're implementing the UI view controller representable. So because this class that we're implementing includes these methods, we have to fulfill the contract within the scan document view struct that we're implementing now. The next thing we need to do is to create a class. The name of the class is called coordinator. That implements the NS object. VN document camera view controller delegate. Next thing we need to do is implement the initializer. And pass in the following parameters, which includes recognize text, binding, string, parent, scan, document view. Self.recognize recognize text equals recognize text. Yeah, that shouldn't be override on lines number 33. It should just be in it. I recognize it's spelled incorrectly, so let's refactor that now. Should be RECOGNISED. And then also we need to correct the spelling mistake here as well. Recognize. Recognize text. Let's see if this fits it. No, that doesn't fit it. I'll just enter it again. It should be recognize text. $, recognize text, parent, cell. If there's an error somewhere else, where is it? Recognize text, recognize text. $, recognize text, parent, cell. And we'll just fix those errors afterwards. So let's go into the coordinator class. Type in the following: var, recognize text, binding, string, var, that it should be var, not bar, var, parent, scan document view. And then within the initializer, we need to assign our parent to the incoming parent. And the purpose of that is to initialize the coordinator with the recognized text and the parent view. The next function we need to add is the document camera view controller. The one that includes the did finish with parameter. And the purpose of this delegate method, it's needed to be implemented so that the view controller can be dismissed after the scanning operation has completed. So we need to type in the following: let extracted images equals extract images. So the next thing we need to do is implement the extract images function. File private function extract images from scan vn document camera scan, which returns an array of CG image. Next thing we need to do is to create an empty array to store a list of extracted images. And now we have our image that we have scanned. So we need to loop through each page that's been scanned. And then get the image of that page that has been scanned. Scan.image of page at index. So if there's like 2 pages, the index would be 0, then it would be 1. Or if there's like 3 pages, it would be 0, 1, 2, 3. That is for 4 pages. If there's 3 pages, it would be 0, 1, 2. So now we have our extracted images within our array. The next thing we need to do to check if the extracted image has a CG image representation, guard let CG image equals extracted image.cg image. Continue. So what it does, if the image doesn't have a CG image representation, skip to the next iteration, so it just keeps on going around the loop until it finds one. And then when at least one has been found, we then add the image onto our array of extracted images. And then we just return the result to the calling routine. Extracted images. On line 47, we need the more than sign, more than symbol, because we're returning a value from the function. The next thing we need to do, we need to return to our document camera view controller function, which is this one here. One of our delegate methods. And then we need to continue the implementation of this function. So it should be from, so we pass in the image. Or we pass in the scan information to the extracted images function. Let process text equals recognize text from extracted images. Recognize text dot wrap value equals process text. The purpose of that line, it will update the recognize text binding. And then the next thing we need to do is to dismiss the parent view. Parent dot presentation mode dot wrap value dot dismiss. And then the next function we need to create is, it's called recognize text. So type in file private Bunc, recognize text from images, CG image, that should be image, CG image, that returns a string, so the string is the actual text that's being extracted or recognized. Var, entire, recognize text, let recognize text request equals vn recognize text request error in. So that's for our closure. And then the next thing we need to do is to check for any errors that we may have. If there's any errors, we just exit. Else there's no errors, so we try to do the next command. Guard let observation equals request results as bn recognize text observation else return. So what that line does, it retrieves the recognized text observation, but if it cannot retrieve any of the recognized text using observation, then it just returns on the function. Else, it's found something, and then we do the following. Let maximum recognition candidates equals 1. Since we've found at least 1, we need to iterate through the observations, go through the actual collection. For observation in observations, on line 80 there should be observations with an S at the end, because here we're retrieving an array. That's why it's got open bracket, close bracket. So we're looping through the observations array. And then we attempt to retrieve one of the top candidates from the observation. guard, let candidate equals observation top candidates maximum recognition candidates dot first else continue. So it gets the first candidate that you can find. So the candidate, that's the actual text that's been extracted from the image. So now we have some of the text that's been extracted from the image. We use our entire recognized text variable, and then concatenate all the instances of the found recognition text or observation extractions that's been removed from our image. Candidate dot string, and then we just add a new line character. Then the next thing we need to do is, after line 91, add the following. Recognize text request. Recognition level equals dot accurate. So for us at the moment, accuracy is more important when doing the extraction and speed. But if we wanted to, I think we can base it on speed. Yeah, fast, that's the speed of it. If you want it to be done quickly. But we want accuracy, like the right information. For image, in images, let request handler equals VN image request handler CG image options empty array. Try request handler dot perform open bracket close bracket recognize text request. And what that does, it performs the text recognition on the current image and then returns the entire recognized text to the calling routine. Now let's compile it. So there's still an error there. Xcode crashed, I had to restart Xcode again. but now it seems like the error has gone. So I'll just re-indent everything. And then compile it again. In next week's tutorial, we will implement the content view so that the content view will call the struct that we created in this tutorial to display the scanning view, the scan document view. Thank you for joining us. If you found this tutorial helpful, please comment, like and subscribe. See you next week.